bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu saha viryam karavavahai tejasvina vadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Bhagwan started this teaching in the 4th chapter with stuti of Brahma Vidya. He said, Arjuna, this knowledge is so great, it was given by me to Lord Sun. And then the Sun God gave it to his son. And this lineage has continued and come to you right now. And we had seen the power of stuti is such, whatever somebody praises, that thing we want to know more about. And if that praise comes from a authentic person in whom we trust, then that curiosity is even more. It could be a simple thing as praising some food item, out of 4 things. If somebody says, this thing you have to try it, it's so good. The moment they have said that, and you know that if this person has said, it has to be something interesting, then there will be a pravrutti. Pravrutti means desire to go and know more about that thing. So Arjuna loves Bhagwan Krishna the most. And if Bhagwan Krishna is praising some knowledge, so naturally he will feel like going and knowing more about it. This in Shastriya word, it is called as Arthavada or Stuti. Stuti means praise, but it is not done just for the sake of it. It is done in such a way that we get inspired to know more about that thing. Is there some echo? I can hear a slight echo. So the moment Bhagwan gave this explanation that I taught this knowledge to Lord Sun, Arjuna had a question. What was the question? He said, Bhagwan, your birth is recent. Aparam bhavato janma. You were probably born few years, few decades before me. But Lord Sun was born at the beginning of creation. This much Arjuna also knows. He says, it was not that creation came first and then sun came. Both of them were born together. How do you say that you gave this knowledge to Lord Sun? Katham etat vijaniyam tomado proktavaniti. How am I to understand that you gave this knowledge to Lord Sun? So Bhagwan takes this opportunity to share a little bit about himself. Bhagwan is such a humble person, he will not speak about himself without being asked for. The moment Arjuna asks this question, he gives a very different perspective about who is Lord Krishna. And he says, Arjuna, this is not your first birth. You have taken several births. You have gone through different shariras. Only difference is, you don't remember it. I remember all my past births. But there is a difference between you taking birth and me taking birth. Jiva takes birth because of karma. And Jiva doesn't have choice where it has to be born, how it has to be born. But Bhagwan, when he takes birth, that is called as Avatara. Now Bhagwan is telling there is something unique about my birth. This is what we had seen in the 6th verse. 4 aspects which are unique about Bhagwan's Avatara. Let us chant that verse, 6th one. Ajopi sannavyayatma bhutana. Together. Ajopi sannavyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakrutim swamadhisthaya sambhavamyatma mayaya. 4 aspects, Bhagwan says, are unique about my birth. What is the first one? Ajaha api. Although I am unborn, as this pure consciousness, I appear to be born. So in Sanatan Dharma, who takes Avatara? If you ask this question, the answer is pure consciousness takes Avatara. Along with Maya conditioning, that consciousness appears as Dehadhari. Goswamiji writes in several places for Bhagwan, Rama and Lakshmanji, Maya Manushyam Harim. Bhagwan has not really become a physical form. He says that consciousness has, with its Maya power, it is appearing as a physical form. Maya Manushyam Harim, he says. So that is the first aspect. Although unborn, it is appearing as though it is born. Then Bhutanam, second one was Avyayatma. It is non-modifying, but when it does Leelas and Avatara, it acts as though it is constantly modifying. At physical body level and at mind level also. And we had seen examples for each one. So whenever Bhagwan does Leela of Sitaji's Viraha, right? He is lamenting and crying. Now what is that Leela? It's a modification at mind level. So Avyayatma is acting as though there is Vyaya. And Bhagwan is in childhood, he grows on to become a youngster, from Vatsapala to Gopala, and then goes to Mathura. All of that is Leela of Vyaya at physical body level. So this is his Leela, that pure consciousness is doing all these things. And third is Bhutanam Ishwaraha Api. Although he is Lord of all Jivas, when he does Leela, he does it as though he is another Jiva. This is what Goswamiji pointed out in Ramcharitmanas. He said that Bhagwan, by taking whose name, Jiva goes across samsara. That Bhagwan is taking a dip in Gangaji because he is tired. And he says, now that I have taken a dip and I am taking a sip of Gangaji, all my tiredness is gone. So Goswamiji reminds all devotees, don't think he has become a Jiva. He is in essence the Lord of the universe, but doing Leela as though he is a Jiva. That is his charitra, to show certain things to Jivas. That is why Bhagwan does all those things. Then Prakritim Swamadishthaya. When Jiva is born, by default the Jiva is ignorant. Ignorant about several facets. Today's Bhajagovindam class will be a lot of elaboration of this verse only. How Jiva's journey is happening and how Ishwara's journey happens. So Jiva is born ignorant. He is under the sway of Prakriti. Means when the three gunas, which guna will come in our mind, we never know. Starting of the satsang, Sattva guna was there. You start any subtle topic, slowly Tamo guna comes. And you are trying hard. Not that you don't want Sattva guna to be there. But slowly, you feel like you are in Samadhi avastha, and then Tamo guna comes, fully it goes away. That is our helplessness. Jiva is so much bound by three gunas. Ignorance is attached to this Jiva from birth. But when Bhagwan takes Avatara, he never loses sight of this higher self. He never loses sight of his higher nature. So this is Prakritim Swamadishthaya, not pushed by karma. Bhagwan says, I take Avatara. Now the question is, okay, Bhagwan, if you take Avatara, then when do you actually come? When do you take Avatara? What is that reason because of which you take Avatara? Bhagwan would say, actually I don't need a reason. If at all you put a reason, then I will become like another Jiva. Because there is a reason, that is why you are coming. But he says, since I have only established rules in this universe, I will also go by the rules. So he himself creates avatars, he himself creates reasons for his own avatara. If you study Ramcharitmanas, you will find all this opening up more and more. Before Bhagwan is born, Goswamiji gives 4 reasons or 4 plus reasons why Bhagwan is taking Avatara. Naradji's story he gives, how that whole thing happened, and Naradji ended up cursing Bhagwan Vishnu. So that was one reason why he had to come down. And then Pratap Bhanu's story is there. He was another king who became Ravana. So Jaya Vijaya's story is there. Both of them are cursed, and one becomes Ravana, another becomes Kumbhakarna. The main thing is, Bhagwan says, if I have to take Avatara, then some reason should be there. That is why I come. But Puja Guruji would beautifully explain this verse. He would say, Bhagwan takes Avatara because of bhaktas. Not only for Shatru Samhara, not only for finishing Ravana. If we didn't have an altar to offer our love towards, where will we offer? When we say in Karma Yoga, offer all your love, offer all your actions to something higher. Now, if that higher becomes very abstract, think about your own experience. How are you going to even connect with that abstract thing? Right? If you say Bhagwan is all-pervading, it actually doesn't create that much of impact. But if you say my Bhagwan Krishna is all-pervading, that sambandha with Bhagwan brings a lot of depth in that understanding. Any sambandha, any relation we want to create, we need a specific name, we need a specific form. That is why we keep pictures, right? Family pictures we keep. If there is a great personality, we create idols. Now, why do we need that name and form? That person, we can even connect directly without that. But if you have a name and form, it becomes easier for us to connect with that ideal. So Bhagwan says, if devotees have to rise up, if they have to do uddhara, uddhara means rising up, uddharati, rising up, if they have to do, I have to take Avatara. And because all of us are not the same, we will connect with different forms of the Lord, different personalities of the Lord. Bhagwan will show different aspects in different avataras. Somebody who is more contemplative, introvert, Lord Shiva will appeal to them. Somebody who likes a lot of colors, everything should be colorful, Bhagwan Krishna. Shrungara Priyaha Krishna. Abhisheka Priyaha Shiva. Lord Shiva is very austere. Different personalities, different facets will connect to each avatar. So that is one reason, or that is the main reason. Bhagwan comes because of doing uddhara of devotees. Let us see the verse again. 7th verse, you can repeat. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanihi bhavati. Whenever there is a decline in dharma, at that time there is also simultaneous increase of adharma. Abhyutthanam adharmasya. When both these things happen, I take avatara. Tadatmanam srujami aham. Now one meaning of this verse is when we see outside, that when a lot of atrocities are happening, adharma is increasing, and dharmic people are unable to live their dharma. Bhagwan says, then it is my responsibility to set things right. This is when Ravana was doing a lot of things to all these sadhus who used to live in that forest. He had put Maricha and Tadaka in between Ayodhya and what was the neighboring city? Mithila. So Ravana had placed Tadaka and Maricha that you go and do some kind of disturbance to all these Rishi Munis. So Bhagwan goes along with Vishwamitra Rishi and finishes Tadaka, finishes Maricha. So like this, if there is a dharmic person who wants to live dharma and is not able to live dharma, Bhagwan says, I take Avatara to help them remain dharmic. Now this is one meaning at a more outside, if you want to apply it. But when it comes to our own inner world that we have, the meaning of dharma is very important to understand. What is dharma? That word itself is very, very elaborate. Simple meaning of dharma is, it's a divine constitution. Divine constitution for human beings to live happily here and hereafter. Divine constitution for human beings to live happily here and hereafter. Now you will ask, where have I taken this definition from? This is from Puja Guruji's Dharma Shastra. Guruji has written a book where he says, after a lot of thinking, I came to this definition. So we should analyze it more and appreciate it. There are different meanings of dharma, but one of the meanings that will connect easily to us is this. Divine constitution for human beings to be happy here and hereafter. Whenever there is use of the word constitution, it will invariably involve do's and don'ts. Right? In our constitution also, the moment you say constitution, it involves do's and don'ts. But those do's and don'ts are not there to make our life difficult. Those do's and don'ts are there so that our life becomes easier. Even while driving, we have so many do's and don'ts, right? Don't exceed this speed limit. If you are a little bit slower, drive on the right lane. Don't be on the leftmost lane. Direction is there. Now those are do's and don'ts. Parking also, we have so many do's and don'ts, right? Park here, don't park there. Now if somebody doesn't appreciate why it is there, what is their feeling? It is only to make our life difficult. Every time they say, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. But actually, if you notice, it is for us to reach our destination safely. All do's and don'ts are to help us reach our goal, not to make our life difficult. Speeding also, right? We have so many rules around it. I had read one joke, One person got pulled over by this cop, and he was going at 120 miles per hour freeway. And he's asking the cop, was I going too fast? Was I driving too fast? He says, no, you are flying too low. Any do's and don'ts if you take, even in any institution. The day we join work, they give orientation package. And you read that everything is do's and don'ts mostly. You do this, you don't do this. You do this, you don't do this. In the same way, this constitution of dharma is do's and don'ts around values. It's a do's and don'ts around values. If a particular situation triggers an emotion of anger, dharma tells the sadhaka, akrodha. One should not get angry. If there is a situation which demands or it triggers this emotion in the sadhaka to speak a lie, dharma will come and tell him, satyam, that is our dharma. Any value you take, it will fit under this category. That situation will demand us to respond in certain way, but dharma will say, you have a choice. And if you follow this, which is, asatyam, or which is satyam, akrodha, kshama, forgiveness, all those qualities, those will help us actually reach our goal safely. So that is the first facet of dharma. That is something which is directly related to do's and don'ts. But most importantly, if we follow these do's and don'ts, it will keep us integrated. At an individual level, and also at family level, also at society level. Think about it. If there are two people together, which quality is needed for them to stay together? Satyam or asatyam? Goswamiji gives an example. This friendship between two people, he says it is milk and water coming together. If it is there together, there is understanding, good values, that milk, that water gets sold at the price of milk. If there is understanding, that water gets sold at the price of milk. But if one drop of kapata, one drop of lemon falls in it, kapata means deceit. He's drawing an analogy. He says in that milk and water, if one drop of lemon falls, milk is separate, water is separate. And neither of them is useful. So he says this is our dharma, that if one drop of adharma falls anywhere between any relationship, that one drop of adharma is sufficient to disintegrate everything. So what is dharma? If in another word, if you want to look at it, that which integrates is dharma. That which integrates our personality and the society around us. Society means we don't have to integrate everybody else, starting with the people we live around. Sometimes we have this question, is this particular thing dharmic or adharmic? Is a particular action dharmic or adharmic? We say apply this definition and see whether it is going to integrate or is it going to disintegrate. Gurudev used to give an example. A surgeon taking a knife and doing operation. He doesn't get called as an adharmic person, or that action is not adharmic. But if same action somebody else does, it becomes adharma. Right? So dharma doesn't live in action. Dharma lives in that person, whether he is qualified to do that action or not, and for what intention, with on what intention he is doing that particular action. So this is one facet of dharma, that which integrates, and there is lot of do's and don'ts around values. So that restriction which is there, it is for our own good. Okay. Now second part of that definition was, it's a divine constitution for human beings. For human beings means what? Other than human beings, no animal or any other creature has dharma adharma. A cow doesn't get punya because it's only vegetarian. Nor does lion get papa because it is carnivorous. So dharma adharma is only for manushya yoni. And if somebody is able to live a dharmic life, they can accrue more and more punya karma. And what is that punya karma going to give them? That punya karma will give sukham. Right? Happiness is what we want, but it will come through punya karma. And that punya karma comes through dharma. So as though dharma is a check on our artha purushartha and kama purushartha. We have 4 purushartha, right? What we desire in life. Whenever we start our journey, we generally don't start with dharma. We say we want resources in life, we want prosperity in life, so that we can get whatever is needed for our journey. So that is called as artha and kama. But how am I getting those things? How is artha coming and how is kama getting fulfilled? The one who controls both of this is dharma. And dharma, if you want to tie it to the previous definition, set of values is called as dharma. Because they are the ones who are going to keep us integrated. It will keep our society integrated, family integrated, and everything. Are you all with me so far? We just saw the definition of dharma and who is entitled for dharma. See, Puja Guruji's definition, every word has a purpose. What did he say? It's a divine constitution for human beings. Means other yoni, there is no other forms of life, there is no reason, there is no injunction to do dharma or adharma. They have no choice. Whatever is their instinct, according to that they will act. But we as human beings have this faculty of making a decision. And actually speaking, that is the only evolution that counts in human birth. How much have we evolved in our responses in a given situation? Previously, to say a lie did not matter at all, let us say. But as the sadhaka does sadhana, mind becomes purer. Even a small untruth will interfere in the sadhaka's mind. It is just like if you are used to wearing clean clothes, one small dot will bother you. But if somebody doesn't care what is the type of cloth, not even small, if it is very, very dirty also, it doesn't matter. Same with the mind also. So a small untruth will bother, small desire will also bother. So that is how this sadhaka keeps evolving. Okay? Two things we saw it. Divine constitution for human beings to live happily here and hereafter. Means here in this world, there we can also appreciate what is the importance of dharma. Like how we saw it. To keep two people together, what we really need is all these values. Understanding, so many other things are there. And hereafter means this punya karma, it is one currency that works in this world, and it is the only currency that works in other worlds also. No conversion needed, automatic converter is there. Otherwise, no matter how much you have here, if you go to some other country, it doesn't work, right? You have to convert it. What to talk about other worlds? There is a nice story in life of Guru Nanak Ji. It is said he went to one Sethji's house. And that Sethji had a ritual in his house where every time he had 100,000 gold coin, he would put a flag. 100,000 gold coin, he would put a flag. And he invited Guru Nanak Ji. And his entire aisle, to the house was filled with these flags. Just to show, how much of prosperity he has. And Guru Nanak Ji goes there and he meets him, pious person. But while going away, he just gives him a needle. And says, when we meet in heaven, please give it back to me. When we meet in heaven, please give this needle back to me. Then he says, how can I give you this needle in heaven? He says, you cannot even carry this needle. What to talk about these flags? But the point is, even if he cannot carry that prosperity or whatever, if he can convert it into punya, that punya will help even otherwise. Or it will also help in other lokas. So much so that even if there are no resources available, even if there is no external resource available, if punya is there, that punya can save that person. With physical wealth, unless there is resource available, you cannot buy anything. For example, if somebody is stuck in a forest, okay, and you are hungry, and you have all the money, 100,000 gold coin. You say if no resources are there, you cannot buy anything. On the other hand, if you have the currency of punya, in that forest, you will find one person, one kutiya will be there, he will give you food. What to talk about if a lion comes? You tell that lion, I have 100,000 gold coins. Meaning what? In difficult situations, if punya karma is there, that punya karma has the power to bring us out of difficulties. So this person looks for every opportunity to do dharma. External acts, of course, are there, but internally his mindset is, wherever I can do good work, selfless work. He says, you write my name. You will have to sacrifice other things. You will have to step out of your comfort zone. He says, that's okay. Because he has understood sukham comes through punya karma. Wherever somebody needs help, and this person has to go out of the way to help, he says, I'm ready. Bhagwan Vedvyasji says, in all 18 Puranas that I have written, this is my main message. Paropakara punyaya, papaya parapidanam. How do I get punya? He says, paropakara. Think about what I can do for others and start with immediate surrounding. Because sometimes it's very easy to think about doing good to somebody remote, somebody far. But he says, if we can start immediate surrounding, that is the first place which will bring joy in our life. And the last part was the types of dharma. Now we saw what is the definition of dharma, that which integrates, and it's a divine constitution for human beings to live happily here and hereafter. Now there are different types of dharma. One is called as samanya dharma. Samanya dharma means no matter which place it is, no matter which time it is, no matter who it is in front of you, our dharma will not change. So there are 10 things which are counted under samanya dharma. For example, dhrutihi. Dhruti means fortitude. Kshama, forgiveness. Dhruti kshama damaha, controlling sense organs. Asteyam, not hoarding anything, not taking something which belongs to somebody else. Shaucham, cleanliness. Now all these things, it is not that only when I am in this particular area, I will practice that, and when I go somewhere else, I need not practice that. Forgiveness, for example, it is not limited by time and space. That only in the morning I am forgiving, in the evening it doesn't matter. Right? And even honesty for that matter. You say, how much percent honest you are? I am 90% honest. It is either 100% or you are on the other side. Meaning it is something which is not bound by time, it is not bound by person also. That only in front of these people I'll be honest, in front of others I need not be honest. So that is called as samanya dharma. Let me just mention the shloka, but you can just note the points. One is dhrutihi. Why don't we lead and repeat? Dhrutik shamadamosteyam, dhrutik shamadamosteyam, shauchamindriya nigraha, dhir vidya, satyamakrodha, dashakam dharma lakshanam. Dharma lakshanam means samanya dharma lakshanam. Samanya dharma lakshana. Dhruti means fortitude. That whenever things don't work the way we want, going through that phase with strength. That every time it is not going to be only success, success, success. Dhruti means that if something is not working according to how I want, I am able to go through it in a defensive mode. And in cricket also there is attack mode and defense mode, And the bowler is tough, ball is swinging around too much. You don't go on attacking mode, you go on defense mode. That defense mode is this dhruti. Situations are difficult, unable to know how to go forward, dhruti. Then kshama means forgiveness. Kshama means forgiveness. Damaha. Dama means sense organs going only there where we want them to go. If you want to make it more generic, very, very careful response to the world. Dhamma means we don't control every sense organs one by one. That now I'm controlling my eyes, now I'm controlling my hand. All response of sense organs together is our response to this world. What we call as body language, what we call as speech. Everything is part of that response only. So being very moderate in that response, that is Dhamma. Now it doesn't matter if it's a child or it is somebody, very elderly person, very respected person, doesn't matter. He says our response will always be like this. That's why it is Samanya Dharma, Dhamma. Then comes Shaucham. Asteyam is also there. Asteyam means non-hoarding, not stealing. See, objects people generally don't steal. It also includes credits. If somebody has done something and it does not belong to that other person, he says, I'm not interested in it. There is no reason for doing any kind of, taking away of credits. Okay, Asteyam. Shaucham. Shaucham means cleanliness. Now this also doesn't depend upon time, doesn't depend upon place. That few places will be clean, but other places it's okay if it is unclean. He says everything is Samanya Dharma. Then Indriya Nigraha. It's similar to Dhamma, control over sense organs. Dhir Vidya. Dhi means ability to analyze situations precisely. That is called as Dhihi. You say, right, this person is very sharp. At work also we use this, right? He is very sharp. Means what? Just by looking at things, he is able to figure out what should be done next. So this is one dharma, which is samanya, a quality that a person seeks to build up. Vidya means he is well versed, well aware of things. Dhir Vidya, Satyam, truthfulness. And Akrodaha, doesn't get angry without a reason. Doesn't get angry without a reason. Even if he gets angry, he is able to not allow that anger express in his transaction. Right? And we all practice this. Several times at work, although mind is so angry, it wants to say something. But we know that this is not the right time. But just like we practice in work, because this is Samanya Dharma, it has to be practiced everywhere. Samanya Dharma means that is the main quality. And the last one was, this was the 10th one, Akrodaha, Dashakam, Dharma Lakshanam. These 10 things are called as Samanya Dharma. Now what is Vishesha Dharma? Vishesha Dharma is that which is depending upon our role in life. The moment we take certain responsibility, certain titles, that will demand certain Vishesha Dharma. Like for spiritual seekers it is said, Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. In your Swadhyaya, in your study, and pravachan, don't do pramada. Don't be negligent. Means if you are going to speak on some topic, if you don't prepare for it, one Mahatma Ji would say, it's an insult to the audience. If you are just going and winging things, he said that is one pramada, one should never do it. Now that is not an injunction for everybody. It's only for a spiritual seeker who is into Swadhyaya and Pravachana. Now if some Grahastha is there, for them there is an injunction, Atiti Devo Bhava. Whichever guest comes to our house, unannounced, Atiti, without any titi that person comes, look upon them as God. That is Vishesha Dharma, which is not applicable to that other seeker. For him the injunction was Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Here the injunction is Atiti Devo Bhava. I hope the difference between Vishesha Dharma and Samanya Dharma is clear now, right? Samanya means those qualities which should be there at all times, and according to the role we have taken, Vishesha Dharmas will come to us. And that you can extend it even for other roles. The moment we take some role, we take some responsibility that will demand certain duties. Even at work, even as a parent, all of that is included under Vishesha Dharma. Not everybody is, having that as a duty. Okay? Spending time with family, right? That will be a duty of a grahastha. But all ashramas will probably not have that injunction as the main injunction. Okay, so that is Vishesha Dharma, specific for certain people. See, dharma is such a elaborate topic. We are just looking that word, yada yada hi dharmasya glanihi bhavati. What does that word dharma mean? And if you want more elaboration, you can listen to Puja Guruji's Dharma Shastra. All these points are from there. Very nicely, Guruji had taken for, I think, 10 sessions or something. But our main purpose is, what is dharma glani now? If this is what is the definition of dharma, that dharma means those values which are there that will integrate us. Dharma glani means this person starts feeling, by living a life of dharma, nothing is going to happen. Sometimes it happens because of outside factors. But otherwise, our own mind is capable of giving us this conclusion. But that is another facet. Adharmic vritti should never be justified. If we are unable to live up to dharma, there is still a chance that one day we will, with Bhagwan's grace, come and live it. But if we start to justify adharmic vritti, there is no way we can get over it. We must have seen in different situations where people justify anger. They say this person got so angry and everybody was trembling. As though getting angry is a very good thing. Yudhishthira tells this to Bhima in Mahabharata. He says, what sadhana do you have to do to get angry? If at all you need to do some sadhana, it is to overcome anger. You tell me what is more meaningful, getting angry or overcoming anger? Because everybody is telling Yudhishthira that you don't get angry. You should get angry. You should be more, outspoken in this and so on. So that is one facet, that dharma glani means within ourselves, when there is a battle between value and a vice, the vices, they are more stronger. Their sound is more stronger. The Ravana inside, he is very powerful. So much so that, who is son of Ravana? Meghanad. Goswamiji gives symbolic meaning of all these people. He says Ravana is moha. Moha means delusion, erroneous notions that are there. And his son is Meghanad, who is kama, desire. It is said when Meghanad used to make a sound, all devatas would run away. So in the same way, when desire makes garjana inside, all daivi vrittis run away. Good thoughts that are there, they are as though their voice is not heard only. And the brother of Ravana is Kumbhakarna. That is ahankara. Ahankara, if it is sleeping, it is better. The dushta ahankara which is there, the more it sleeps, it is better. The moment it wakes up, it will create a lot of trouble. But when we say, Siyavara Ramachandra ki jai, that jai jaikara is, that inside when these two fight, may Lord Rama win. That in me, when I get a choice between krodha and akrodha, akrodha should win. Anger and peace, that quietude should win. Between satya and asatya, satya should win. So like this, different values and vices when they fight, may dharma win. Now we know how difficult it is to make our values win. If, let us say, whenever this battle happens inside and a value wins, that is when we should know Bhagwan's Avatara has taken place. That is where he says, right, Abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Yesterday in Kenopanishad, we were seeing one quotation. Who is Bhagwan? Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji said, Punyam karma karayati. Bhagwan is the one who makes the jiva do good actions. Means punya karma credit should not go to jiva again. He says credit of punya karma goes to Bhagwan. So inside, whenever that battle happens and we are able to live by our own convictions, we say, Bhagwan, you have won. That's why we do Nama Sankirtanam also. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. All Nama Sankirtanam is to say that may Bhagwan be victorious in our heart. Abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Now another point about Avatara. We are discussing about Avatara, right? When Bhagwan takes Avatara, it is said there are different types of Avataras. This is an interesting topic. If your children are listening to all the stories in Bhagavatam, it gives a new insight. One Avatara is called as Purna Avatara. What is Purna Avatara? That Bhagwan will be born just like any other individual. He will go through the same stages like any other jiva and live his life just like any other jiva. Means Bhagwan, Rama and Krishna, they are considered as Purna Avatara. Okay, what is Purna there? He is born on Ram Navami day, Janmashtami day, then he goes to school, then he gets married, then he has all the other things he does just like any other grahastha would do. What is the purpose there? He is living life in such a way so that we can emulate. Purna Avatara, he teaches us how to live our life. Another type of Avatara is called as Amsha Avatara. Amsha Avatara or Kala Avatara. Amsha means he will come for a specific purpose. When that purpose is done, he will go back. Amsha Avatara example is Kapila Bhagwan. Kapil Bhagwan, his avatar is called as Amsha Avatara. In Sankhya Shastra which was there, it was declining. So Bhagwan had to come to uplift that knowledge. So he took Avatara and taught Devahuti ji, and Sankhya Shastra was again revived. But after that Avatara, his purpose is done. It is called as Amsha Avatara. Third Avatara is called as Avesha Avatara. Avesha Avatara means when certain circumstances are formed, Bhagwan can enter any part of this creation and accomplish some work. Avesha Avatara. For example, Narsimha Bhagwan. When Prahlad prayed to the Lord, rather he just made a statement. Hiranyakashipu said, you keep saying that Bhagwan is everywhere, Bhagwan is everywhere. Is he in this pillar also? That was just a statement he made. Bhagwan says, if my devotee makes a promise, I have to come and fulfill it. Name bhaktah pranashyati. If my devotee has said something, I have to come and fulfill his words. So he comes as Narsimha Bhagwan. That is called as Avesha Avatara. There is a beautiful facet of Avesha Avatara in our everyday life. This we have seen before also. Whenever we are seeking help, we are in some situation where we are seeking help. It has happened several times that help has come from some place. Some person comes, helps us and goes away. It could either be you are stuck somewhere and some help has come in that situation. Or we are seeking some kind of direction and some person comes and gives that direction. Now one way to say this is, it was random. This person just happened to be here, he came and helped us. That is one perspective. Another perspective is, this person was sent by my Bhagwan. I was stuck and I prayed to the Lord and my Bhagwan sent this person. Third perspective is, my Bhagwan alone came as this person. Because Avesha means what? He can take Avesha anywhere. In this entire creation he can take Avesha. It can also be this individual. See, all of this is Bhakti Pradana. It depends upon our perspective. We are free to take option 1, 2 or 3. You take 3, it will become sweeter. 2 is the second best option. First one is a very different path. You say everything is random, there is no cause-effect relationship. Where is Bhagwan's avatar and so on? How many avatars are done? One was Purna Avatara, second was Amsha Avatara, third was Avesha Avatara. Fourth one is called as Archavatara. Archavatara means whenever we have a Vigraha of the Lord and through Shastra there is Prana Pratishtha done in that Vigraha. So that Vigraha becomes Archavatara of Bhagawan. So much so that it has the power to give all results. Just like how you have Bhagwan's darshan, right, in his physical form as Purnavatara, Kalavatara. Archavatara also has the power to shower that grace and blessings. This is why people have Kula Devata. So Devata is a Vigraha there, but because it's an Archavatara of Bhagwan, that Archavatara is showering its grace and blessings. You must have seen the term Grama Devata also. Every village will have a deity which is taking care of that village. So that is Archavatara of the Lord. Archana means to offer our prayers. So that avatara which enables us to do that. That is called as Archavatara. And the last avatar is called as Nithyavatara. Nithyavatara means all Santa Mahatmas who are there, it is considered that they are the Nithya Avatara of Bhagawan. I had heard from one Mahatma Ji that Swami Vivekananda had said somewhere that he was a Brahma Rishi before. That he has come, I think I heard this from Guruji only. That he was a Brahma Rishi before and he has just come for accomplishing Bhagwan's work. So they are considered as Nithya Avatara because they also do the same work as Avatara. Adharmic vrittis are being removed and then Dharma Sthapana is being done. Okay, 5 different types we saw. Purna Avatara, Kala Amsha Avatara or Kala Avatara, Avesha Avatara, Archa Avatara and Nithya Avatara. So these are different facets of Bhagwan's Avatara. Oh, it's already time. Shall we just chant the next verse? Okay. Now it is said when Avatara manifests, right? Now he says, why do you manifest? Bhagwan, why do you manifest? What is your main job? When you come here, what do you do? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam. Paritranaya means to protect a sadhu in all ways. Pari upasarga is there. It is not only trana, it is paritrana. Meaning, if somebody can become a sadhu, Bhagavan says, your entire well-being is my responsibility. Not only your spiritual growth, family-wise, resources-wise, every other thing which is connected to this sadhu, Bhagavan says, I will take care. Paritranaya sadhuna. Now, who is a sadhu? One who is working on individual perfection is a sadhu. One who is constantly trying to make Bhagwan win inside. When there is a battle between adharma and dharma, that person who is trying to make dharma win inside, that is one definition of sadhu. And when it comes to the world outside, he is helping others accomplish their work. When it comes to the world outside, he is helping others accomplish their work. Parakaryam sadnoti iti sadhu. Parakaryam sadnoti means other person's work. This person is helping them evolve and helping them grow. That person is a sadhu. Now, in and through this, all the qualities of a sadhu will come to that person. Means he has to have so much of titiksha. Right? If we have our own agenda, we cannot help others accomplish their work. So much of other facets which are there, and not everybody is going to appreciate. If you are trying to help accomplish somebody else's work, it is not necessary that the other person will appreciate that. But the sadhu is still okay. Whatever experiences come, he is able to take it, bitter, sweet, indifferent. But when he gives back, it is only sweet. That person is a sadhu. Goswamiji gives this definition. This is from Ramcharitmanas. He says sadhu is like a cotton. It gets beaten up. It's very, very dry from inside. But it's very pure cotton. And it will get beaten up, and that needle will be there which will be pricked inside out and so on, and cloth will be made. But that cloth again goes to cover that same person who had done that beating. So Goswami says that is a sadhu. And for this, we will have to work on inner battle. So inside he is working between dharma and adharma, and outside he is working upon helping others accomplish their work. One who can be sweet in spite of different experiences. That person is a sadhu. Bhagwan says if one can be that, paritranaya sadhunam. I will take Avatara and accomplish everything for that person. And vinashaya cha dushkrutam. Whatever is obstructing this person from being a sadhu, that Bhagwan says, I will take care of destroying. Vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya. How do I do this? Paritrana of sadhu and vinasha of dushkruta? Through dharma sthapana only. So that is the hetu, that is the reason for first line. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I take birth in every yuga. Some Mahatmas say, yuge, ayuge api. It doesn't only have to be in yuga yuga. Whenever there is a need, Bhagwan says, I will take Avatara. So he can take several avatars. It is all up to this devotee to see and recognize it. Okay? Alright, more we will see in the next session. But the points we saw about dharma, if possible, you can recap the whole thing. Discuss it with somebody. See first the definition of dharma and how Puja Guruji had opened up each word. What is a divine constitution? What is the purpose for it? Do's and don'ts. Why only human beings? What is happiness and its connection with punya karma? Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.